Ele banjo.
Okay, so that was just to wake you people
Those
up.
two ele banjo, if you don't wake up, then
Yeah, if you can't wake up after this one, there's no help we can give you again.
But you know, look at the time it rained.
You know,
2 a.m., 1 a.m. when guys were turning the gates.
shifting is the fifth year of sleep.
You need God to be strong to move to work today. Anyway.
Thank God for God.
See, Daddy, how you doing? How you doing this morning?
I'm blessed, Charlie. Waiting for the weekend, ready for
yeah.
the weekend.
Yeah.
Big things happening. The UEFA Nations League final coming up this
UEFA
weekend.
Nations League final Sunday. We've got Portugal versus the Netherlands. So live
I
commentary.
told you Holland would do it. I told you Holland would do
Why are
it.
you doing that to England?
No, I just like the way Guinea
England
was
wanted to play tiki-taka.
Charlie won't ball
I
and
can't tell them what tiki-taka, Charlie.
score goals.
So we're looking forward to that on
Yes.
Sunday, guys. You know what? But it's Friday. It's a good Friday, guys.
It's a very, very good Friday.
So try and make it to work. I know it's difficult. You're going through the messages.
A lot of
and
people are going through rain and traffic
when
this
it
morning.
rains in Ghana, it's like tsunami. I understand, but we have to try and make it work. Because I had Lakeside.
Yes.
But the Ashaliboche roads are looking cool. So today was
The
nice to
roads are
move
not
on.
bad,
they're not bad now.
The worrying one is
the
the
Lakeside.
Kaswa
I saw
Wager
Lakeside.
Road also has a problem.
Okay.
So the Lakeside Bridge is overflowing.
That one.
But the Kaswa Wager Road, what's happening is that the Wager Ridge,
yes.
the mountain flows into the road when it rains. The silt from the mountain, it falls on the road, and you can't drive on the lane coming into Accra.
Oh my God.
So you have to go into the left lane. And that's what creates the problem. So there's heavy traffic
It
there.
won't stop us anyway from giving some chaotic shout-outs
Please,
this morning.
we have to say happy birthday to Juliana Esenam Glover Okai.
Juliana.
Esenam Glover Okai, Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, from your husband and children. And a very good morning to Linda Anokolati and Cynthia Akpa of
my
EcoBank Ring Road branch.
I hear
Charlie,
that.
no, the EcoBank RC branch is a very serious
Oh,
thing.
for chaotic.
It's a very, very chaotic thing as EcoBank RC, starting from the manager, Roberta.
Oh my God.
It's not a joke in this
It
system.
is a K. The Sports Center is proudly
The
brought to
Sports
you.
Center is brought to you by MTN 4G Plus. For the fastest internet connectivity and highest internet speed, choose MTN TurboNet. Standard Chartered Bank here for good, and multi-TV just thrills. Wake up to a good morning because there's so much to look forward to only on MTN. Your mornings are brighter because we're giving you 400 megabytes and 30 minutes of free on-net calls at just 1 Ghana city from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Just imagine all the amazing things you can do online and all those long gists you can have with your friends and family every morning. My guy, just dial *138# and you're sorted. MTN Coco, we dare for you everywhere you go. Now, we believe in you and in the power of your dreams, in the fire in your soul and the sheer force of your will. You have what it takes to make great things happen, and nothing should stop you from living your best life, least of all your banking. With SC Mobile from Standard Chartered, you can conduct all your banking from wherever you are, as well as enjoy all the amazing perks that come with this exciting new app. We can't wait to share this new experience with you. Download SC Mobile from the App Store or Play Store and let's show you what real convenience is. Standard Chartered, here for good.
And here for sports. So, Daniel, in 3 days, Black Stars coach Kwesi Appiah would announce his final 23-man squad for the Africa Cup of Nations. With defender Musa Nuhu out of the team due to an injury, Coach Appiah would have to drop 5 to get his final team. But what do coaches then look out for in dropping players from a provisional team to get their final squad? That's a question we put to Asante Kotoko coach Siki Akono.
First of all, it's important that you understand why all these players are there. You look at different angles of their attitude on the field of play, how they do in training, how they feel, and of course, you look at experience as well, which also matters most in such big tournaments. And so, one point of view, you analyze all these things and then you make a final choice, believing those who will definitely help you. There are people who will train very well but not effective in matches. There are people who will not necessarily train very well but very effective in matches. And so you do all these analysis, and by the end of the day, you coach out with the squad you believe can help the team to be successful.
You hear more from Siki Akono when you join us tonight on the Joy AFCON podcast. That's at 7 p.m. Meanwhile, the Black Stars will take on Namibia in the first trial game on Sunday in Dubai. We'll be bringing you updates on that. Still on the AFCON. And today marks exactly 14 days to the tournament. Here's Baba Tando with today's edition of the Joy AFCON Minute.
Football together.
The
The AFCON Minute on Joy is brought to you by Total Excellium, the fuel that cleans your engine kilometer after kilometer, in association with DSTV. Let's take it easy today. It's a Friday after all. If you're lucky to be one of the 100 fans that will be sent to Egypt through government sponsorship to support the Black Stars, well, here are a few ideas to put on your to-do list. Ghana will be based in Ismailia, and this city has many museums. One of such is the 1973 Ismailia War Museum, with artifacts from the era when North Korea allied with Egypt against Israel. Another tourist attraction will be the famous Suez Canal, which connects the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea. And why not try some high-quality mangoes, as Ismailia is famous with mango production? Join the hashtag JoyAfcon on social media. Salam.
All right, then listen to the Joy AFCON Minutes on the Sports Center from Monday through to Friday at 7:15 a.m. to be able to answer simple questions. Join the Joy AFCON podcast show every Friday at 7 p.m. Answer correctly for amazing prizes for multi-choice Ghana, such as DSTV, Zappa decoders, and GoTV DJ boxes. Now, yesterday in the afternoon, we told you about how CAF President Ahmad Ahmad was picked up by French police to assist in the corruption investigation. Now, the latest from there is that he has been released without any charge. His passport has been handed to him, meaning he's free to travel. The CAF President is expected to watch today's opening match at the Women's World Cup before he departs for Egypt ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations. Gary Al-Smith, or Joy Sports' Gary Al-Smith, is in France and has this report.
Late on Thursday evening, pictures released on social media by people close to CAF President Ahmad showed him seated in Paris in his home with members of the ESCO after his release by French police. No charges had been preferred on him. His passport has been given back to him, and we are told that he will watch today's opening match here in Paris of the Women's World Cup, and then he will go to Egypt to prepare for the AFCON. All this follows an interesting day of news as the CAF president was picked up at his hotel in Paris after what was described as him going to assist investigations into an alleged contract that he diverted in December 2017. This contract was between Puma and CAF, which was won legitimately in a bid of an amount of $312,000, but which the allegation says Ahmad used his powers as CAF boss to give to a company owned by his friend called Tactical Steel to the tune of about more than $1 million. We do not know what will happen next in this investigation, but we are told that the French authorities had applied to the Confederation of African Football for a search warrant to look through their papers and their documentation for more evidence.
Gary Al-Smith from France with that report. And talk of the FIFA Women's World Cup. Yesterday, the first ever FIFA Women's Football Convention was held in France. Former Ghana player Michael Essien, who was on the panel, advised member associations to pay massive attention to the women's game.
The ladies can get, they can do their coaching budgets, but I think they need role models and all of that. And I've known some of the women's, and when they finish career, they move out of the countries and they live abroad and stuff like that. But I mean, it would be very nice to see a lot of women doing their coaching back home and helping the younger ones coming up. So, well, I think it would go down to the FA, to encourage the ladies to do their budget. So yeah, anything to help and for them to get on, and as Richard said, to help the younger ones, that would be very good.
Michael Essien. Now, FIFA Secretary General Fatima Samura says this year's Women's World Cup is the most important in history.
For me, it's definitely the most important because it's the World Cup that is taking place in a moment where women are more and more raising their voice for equality, for justice. Women compose 50% of the world population, and for a game as popular as football, it's going to be a big mistake to overlook 50% of the population.
When you travel around the world, what's the biggest message about women's football?
The first thing we come across is the equal pay, definitely, especially when we're speaking with elite football players.
Well, there's a preview to the Women's World Cup on the locker room at 1:10 p.m. You want to join us for that. But back home, the quarterfinals of the Tier 2 special competition is on this Sunday with Kumasi Asante Kotoko at home to Brekum Arsenal. There's going to be an all-Premier League encounter between Ashanti Gold and Mediama SC at the Boasil and Clay Stadium. Proud United will take on Unistar with Heart Alliance going up against Inzima Kotoko. Now, we have to do some more from around the world, and England suffered more semi-final disappointment as they produced a defensive horror show to crush out of the Nations League to an impressive Netherlands team.
Rashford for England scores nervously, perfectly. Netherlands 0, England 1. Oh, what a terrific header by De Ligt. He has made up for the mistake in the most emphatic manner, and it is 1-1. Stones, what a giveaway, and Pickford to his rescue. Can he get there again? But the ball has ended up in the back of the net, and Quincy Promes has pounced on a chaotic, catastrophic moment for Gareth Southgate's team.
All right, England lost there by 3-1 to Netherlands, and they have set up a final then with Portugal on Sunday. Game will be live at Joy 99.7 FM. That's on Sunday with a build-up at 6:45 p.m. Let's do tennis now. An American teenager, Amanda Anisimova, reached the semi-finals of the French Open with a straight sets win over defending champion Simona Halep. Now, that was such a great day. Jonathan Overin was watching and says Simona Halep played under some unusual nerves.
Yes, a little, especially when you consider she'd fought back in the second set from 4-1 down to level it at 4-all. She's one of the best at turning around seemingly lost causes, Simona Halep. But for Anisimova, who isn't 18, until August, to withstand that comeback and finish the job really highlights her potential. She plays so cleanly and maturely, and 25 winners against one of the best defenders on clay is a remarkable achievement. Barty won her first Grand Slam doubles title last season. No reason on this form why she can't win a debut singles crown. She's the highest seed left now, and although this will be her first major semi-final in singles, she's certainly playing well enough. Her win over Madison Keys today, 6-3, 7-5, was completed in just an hour and 9 minutes.
All right, so semi-finals then for both the male and female draw set. We've got Ashley Barty taking on Amanda Anisimova. Johanna Konta will face Marketa Vondrousova. That's for the women division. And in the male, we've got Roger Federer up against Rafa Nadal. And Novak Djokovic who'll be coming up against Dominic Thiem later today. There's a special preview as well as we go on in the locker room. But we have to do athletics.
And this time they get away, and a good start by Asher Smith, also Talu. It's Asher Smith who's leading at halfway. She goes on by a metre from Elaine Thompson, challenging strongly. Thompson, the Olympic champion, comes through to snatch it on the line. Thompson takes it on the line in 10.89 seconds. It's the fastest time in the world this year in the women's 100 metres. But plenty to be taken from it by Dina Asher Smith, who led for 80, maybe even 90 metres before being outpaced in the closing stages.
All right, so Dina Asher-Smith then broke 11 seconds in her first 100 meters run of the season at the Rome Diamond League, but obviously lost out there to Jamaica's Olympic champion Elaine Thompson. That's where the story is, and we're looking forward to that. We quickly have to hear from Sydney Olympian Alison Kirbishley, who was impressed with Elaine's performance.
What a race, Mike. Elaine Thompson did not want to see what happened in Stockholm when she was scalped by Dina Asher-Smith over the longer distance. Elaine Thompson has never been beaten in the shorter sprint by Dina Asher-Smith, and tonight she wanted to make sure that still stood. It was Dina all the way till the last 20 metres when Elaine just swept by her, and Dina just started to tighten up very, very slightly. But a very impressive run from the Olympic champion Elaine Thompson there.
And that was earlier in the day. Last night, two outstanding 21-year-old American sprinters pushed each other to outstanding performances over 200 meters. That was really an interesting one to really look at. Now, Michael Norman won narrowly in 19.70 seconds, the fastest time in the world this year. And Noah Lyles finished just 200ths of a second we're behind. So we're keeping a tabs on that. We're building up to the IAAF championship that will be taking place in Doha. That's where everything really will go, and I'm sure Norman will be thinking about switching to 400 meters. So it's a great time, and we'll be doing all these analysis on the locker room as we preview that. And then at 7 p.m. later today, we'll come your way with the Joy AFCON podcast. Just a lot to look forward to, Danny.
Where we'll be awarding winners for persons who have been listening to the Joy AFCON minutes.
Yes.
Every day.
That's right. Good.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
You are disqualified for that, but anyway, those who have been listening can answer the question.
You can't disqualify me. This one, George, some good news for those on the Castle Wager Road. If you are stranded at the toll booth, divert towards Obum to use the Amasaman Road to Accra.
Okay.
It's a first-class road. You can also turn just before the toll road and use the Tuba Kokrobite Road. I don't know if this is the same one. Through the Bojo Beach Road and then emerge at Old Barrier.
Okay.
If you are around the Kaneshi area, let us know what the information is there as well. I also want to say a good morning to all the BC candidates, George. A big part of the Kiadik family is writing the BC on Monday.
Oh, yes.
And to you as well, Baron Darko of the West End International School, you are also writing. All the best from your mummy and all the rest of us here at Joy FM. We'll take these important messages. When we come back, it's a beautiful spot of music we call The Groove. Stay with us.